Hi everyone, it's Deez from Turtle Dove. I'm here today to take part in creating with Jovi's hashtag Tassel Tuesday, which is an open collaboration. Anyone can join. She does this every Tuesday. I've been wanting to take part for a while now, so here's what I've come up with. If some of you have been watching me, you may know that a while ago, or not long ago, I went to an op shop and bought some of this Craftlon nylon craft ribbon. I bought quite a few rolls of it. There's some there. And as soon as I saw that, I knew I wanted to make some tassels. So I'll be making some small tassels with this as well. But this one, I've used pink, peach, yellow, and like a peppermint green teal type colour. And I think they go together beautifully. Now, the length of the strands, they are 22 inches, 10 strands in each colour, so 40 strands all up. It's very, very fine, and I just love how it looks. And I've put these beads on, some butterflies and flowers. I did have trouble with this flower because the hole's a bit smaller, and this ribbon can rip so easily. You've just got to be so careful. It is very fragile, but it's so soft looking, so that makes up for it. And these little beads went on fine, and I've just knotted it off at the end, and I can see here I've got 2 knots. I'm going to knot it at the end on this one as well. But look at how it turned out. I love it. And when you hang it up, it just flows so nicely. Only thing is, the ends, you've just got to play around with it. Once you've got it where you want, if you're laying it down or if you're putting it over a door handle or something, hanging it up, you've just got to play around with the strands and just place them. They tend to want to sort of bend back up and stick to the other. So you've just got to play around with it. But look, doesn't that look beautiful? Now it looks a little bit flat because I'm laying it down, of course, so as I said, hang it up, puff it all up how you want, and it'll sit fine. But I just love the way it turned out. So I will be making one for you, so you can see how I've made it. I've done some prep work and cut all the strands out, otherwise it'll be quite boring for you. So I'm going to adjust the camera up so you can see me. We'll put one together. Okay, so this is all the strands. These are the beads I'll be using. Some hearts. And 3 butterflies, and then a couple of these faceted beads. So I'll put them aside, and hopefully I've got my needle. Yes, I do, and my scissors. And these are the colours. I know you probably can't see the colour too well on this pink piece of fabric, but this is like a fuchsia and a beautiful lavender. I think they go well together. So these strands, now let me see. So I said the first one I made, it was 22-inch lengths. The second tassel I cut 20-inch lengths, just slightly smaller. And because there's just 2 colours, I cut 20 strands of each colour, so 40 strands all up. Again, I'm using that amount because it's a very, very fine. So you do want to, see some colour and everything. Okay, so just put that paper aside so I could tell you that and remember. So I've cut and laid out all the strands. Now I'm going to tie that together, and I'm using 2 strands. Oh, and when I laid each strand, I laid them, I grabbed 2 of the same colour and just placed them together and then laid them, just because they're so, one colour's just so fine, so that way you could probably, the colour would come out a little bit more, I thought. So, and please excuse any background noise you may hear. Foundations across the road have been laid to a house and they are still working, so they have been going since about 7 o'clock this morning. So now you find the middle. This part is really fiddly for me, and this particular material, it just wants to stick to everything. So it can be quite fiddly, but I'm going to use 2 strands to tie it, and that'll make the, you know, where you hang it from a little bit tougher, because like I said, it's so fine. And just carefully lift that up, put that under, and then tie it off. Okay, let's try and get the middle. And as Jovi says, don't tie it too tight, because you can adjust it. So let's see. And see how one side's a lot longer, so I need to adjust that. That's not quite the middle. So I'll move this over, undo it slightly and just move it over. And let's have a look at that and see if that's better. That's better. Maybe just a slightly more. And that is perfect. Look at the colours together, aren't they pretty? So I'll just tighten that. I'll do a double knot. And this is what I mean when I'm working with this material. See what the ends are doing? They all want to scrunch up. It's so fine. Now, I'm just going to play around with it a little bit. To make sure everything is where I want it to be. Okay. There we go. Now I'm just going to tie this up high. You can always adjust the loop smaller if you like. depending on where you want to hang it. And I'll just cut some of that off at an angle, and the other side. And so we have half of it done. You've just got to work out what side you want the front and the back. Okay, so now I might move that one way over there because it just wants to catch on everything. So now I've got another length. I think I've cut that one a bit too short, or have I? Because I'm going to make the little puff down there. But I want to hang some beads from that, so the last one could have been a little bit longer, so I might cut another length out, or 2 lengths out. Yeah, this is another fiddly bit that I'm not too used to. Not too used to doing, and what I might do with this material is lay it down and then put that over it. I think that's the way to go. And then just tie that loosely again so you can adjust any strands. Go. Now I'm just going to put those strands out the way and just pull at any pieces that are sticking out, or you know, that aren't sitting nicely. Now's your chance to do that. Just pull it a little bit tighter and just check the back. And see how the back is pretty wide there, so I scrunch that up. I suppose you could twist the ribbon a little bit at the beginning. I did actually try and braid this hanger, and it didn't look good, so now I'm going to pull it out a bit, just that pink. There's some pink pieces that are sticking out that I'm not keen on the look of, and I don't want it catching on anything. But this just feels beautiful. There we go. So now I'm just going to lay it and try and neaten it up a little bit. This is where it took me a good 5 minutes just playing around with it. I'm just going to hold it up. Doesn't that look gorgeous? Okay, so now I'm going to put the beads on. Now I'm just going to do one row of beads for you. I'm going to take one of these strands, just see where it wants to sit, and then decide. So I'm going to take these strands, and I'm taking the double. Remember how I used two to tie it? I'm going to take the end and just fold that in and then over a couple of times so that I can thread it through this darning needle. And I bought a plastic darning needle which is a lot wider than this, but you've just got to be aware it's got to fit through the bead, so just got to be very careful at this point with this material because it's so fine that it can rip. So now just got to decide how you want to place the beads. So I've got a heart, beautiful purple heart, then I'll have a butterfly, then I'll have one of the pink faceted beads, then another purple butterfly this time with a purple faceted bead, a pink butterfly, and then the heart. Okay, so we'll start from the top. Now these ones thread through no problem. The butterfly. Okay, I forgot a tool. I'll just go and get it. I forgot I needed these flat nose pliers for the butterflies because it fits through. The needle fits through, but it's hard to pull that last bit through. There. That helps greatly. Now this is on the border of being too thick. So I'll pull that closer to the end. But the butterflies do look beautiful on here. And now the pink faceted bead can go through. That looks wide enough to go through, no problems. Purple. So I'll just grab it, the needle, and pull, and there's no problems that way. The purple faceted bead. The pink butterfly. And lastly, these pretty purple beads. Okay, so now I'm going to decide if this is where I want the beads to sit. I can move them further down, or I can move them right up high, but I might move them down slightly. See how that works. Just a bit more this time. I think I'll make these a little bit lower than the last tassel. And now I'm going to take the needle out and make a couple of knots right at the bottom of that heart bead. And that will just stop them. I think one knot will be enough. I think that will stop them moving down. And because you're hanging it, you don't really need to do a knot at the top, so they're not going to move anywhere. Now I'm just going to cut these down. I might not cut that one down, or should I? I'm just trying to decide whether I'm going to put another row of beads on. No, I think I'm just going to use one row of beads on this one. So, that's it. Now just let me hold it up and puff it up a bit. Now this is, like I said, it takes a good 5 minutes or so to get all the lengths where you want, because they like to wriggle around and stick to each other. It's sort of like a bride with her wedding dress. You always have to be at it, and that's what the bridesmaids are for, to make sure everything's sitting where it wants or needs to be. Now I normally do this with it sitting down or laying down. So, of course, you're going to hang it. So you want it all nice and puffy. Some people might like it slimlined and not so puffy. But there it is. Isn't that beautiful? I just love them. I think these are my favourites that I've made so far out of all the tassels I've made. Absolutely gorgeous. And this one, beautiful pastel colours. So that's it, guys. I'll leave Jovi's channel link in the description below, and if you'd like to join Tassel Tuesday, remember to use hashtag Tassel Tuesday in your title, and go and check out all the other collaborations with their tassels. There are some lovely ones out there. So thanks for watching, guys. Take care, happy crafting, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.